It's Sounds of the Season on Mix 103.3. It's the morning show. I am Paul with Melissa and Major. And I tell you what, Melissa, you need to just tighten up the place around here because our boss is in the studio.
I know. We need to be on our best behavior.
Rick Hendrick, everybody. Rick Hendrick, hey.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Now, Rick Hendrick, he is the program director and afternoon host on 95.1 The Fox and also our boss around here in the Cumulus stations. But we have him in here today because he's doing something that he's been doing for years and years and years. And all of our listeners know about it, and it is Toy Hill. Tell us about Toy Hill.
Well, believe it or not, Paul, this is 26 years that we've been doing this.
Wow.
Yeah. I got the idea. A good friend of mine in radio told me about this idea of Toy Hill, where they actually not necessarily built a hill of toys, but it was kind of, simulated.
Right.
And it was in Arkansas, and it was a 48-hour period. He said people just come and just donate. And at the end of the weekend, you have all these toys, and you give it to a charity. And the biggest charity being Toys for Tots and the Marines. So I did the same thing back in 1997, decided, okay, I'm going to start this. And here we are, 2022, and we're still going strong. And the neat thing about it is we started off that very first year, we thought, let's do it somewhere historical. Well, I found out that the nickname for the capital was Goat Hill.
Goat Hill.
Right.
Everybody knows that if you're in the state of Alabama. That's the nickname. And I thought, why don't we turn Goat Hill into Toy Hill just for those 48 hours?
Nice.
So we needed to get with the governor's office and say, hey, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
Is that okay for the location? And we thought, let's go a step further. Maybe the governor's office will proclaim those 48 hours as Toy Hill. We were thinking big. And we got in touch with their representative, one Melissa George.
Yes,
Wow.
Yes, back in the day. Yes.
That's right.
That
Melissa was my
first
contact.
job.
Incredible.
Proclamations officer. Those whereas and now therefore documents. And,
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You went from the governor's office all the way up to Mix 103.3.
Yes, I'm proud. I'm very proud. I'm very
Proud of
Congratulations
yourself?
on that.
Yes.
So you guys have a long history, but of course, our listeners here in Montgomery, we know of Toy Hill because you've been doing it, and you've been in several places over the years,
Right,
several locations. This year, you're going to be at
Brubaker Motors.
that's right on Eastern Boulevard.
Right, kind of in between. You've got the main building, which has Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and then you've got the Kia building on the other side. And the big parking lot in the middle between the two buildings, that's where I'll be set up. Right there, the Fox van will be there, and then I'll have an RV from our friends at Clark's RV. They donate it every year so that I'll have somewhere. I won't be in a tent or on the ground for 48 hours.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll have a nice little RV to hang out, but I'm going to be there the entire time. I start at 5 today.
Yep.
And then I don't leave until 5 o'clock on Sunday.
So what we want our listeners to do is bring toys.
Right.
Yeah.
bring
What do
toys.
they need to do?
Well, I tell you what's really neat is the Marines, just like we do with the food bank, we could go and buy food or we can go and buy toys, which is good because we can give those, but monetary donations go a lot further.
They help.
The
Okay.
Marines can take $10 and get more toys than you and I
Than you
can
could
go
buy
buy
with
an
10 bucks.
individual toy for $10.
Yeah.
So, yes, I would love for people to come by and drop off toys, and people do it all the time, but monetary donations go a lot further for the Marines, and then they just take the money and go shopping.
Well, that's
Nice.
incredible, and we encourage all of our listeners to do that and head by, go shopping, or just take a wad of cash, or I don't know, check. I don't know how.
Yeah,
how
they
do
can write a check to Toys for Tots, and the Marines have a receipt book, and for tax purposes and all that. So we'll take all of that this weekend.
So it's a long weekend for Rick Hendrick, but a good weekend
But
because
he
it's
loves
for a
it,
good cause.
Because he's been doing it. What'd you say? 20?
This is 26 years.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Rick is a staple in this community, not just with 95.1 The Fox and what he does with charity and nonprofits all throughout the year, but of course, we know him as the voice of the Biscuits.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
We know
fun.
him.
Those 6 months during the year at Riverwalk Stadium, I love it. I love
You
I
get
love
no
baseball.
sleep, but you have a lot of fun.
I get very much sleep. What
Yeah.
sleep?
I'm sorry.
I know.
Do they have you a cot there? In the...
They should. Some days I feel like, especially during like a 5-game stretch,
Yeah.
I feel like I should just have a cot either here or there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I literally, at the beginning of the week, I see my wife and I say, I'll see you Friday.
See you
Basically.
later.
Yeah.
Well, this weekend is big weekend. We encourage all of our listeners to head out to Brubaker on Eastern Boulevard, drop off some toys on Toy Hill for Toys for Tots and Marines, or some cash that will do as well. And so, Rick, we appreciate all the work that you do.
Yes, thank you, Rick.
Appreciate you for having me.
And-
And thank you for all you did to get this thing started, Melissa.
Glad to help. Glad to help.
Wow, big long history. And
Yeah.
we'll see you this weekend on Toy Hill, Brubaker on Eastern Boulevard. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
It's time